My name is Bryan Swoboda. It's late October 2014, and I'm in Munich, Germany. You know what that means. It means that the Munich Show is just about to start. The theme for this year's show is meteorites. And so, as to be expected, we're going to see some exceptional displays on meteorites, and we're going to learn a lot about them. In the fossil world portion of the show, there is an exceptional display that for the first time ever has come to Europe, and it's actually quite exciting. I think you're really going to enjoy it. We're also going to take a trip through Gem World, and of course, we're going to see some exceptional minerals that are brought by a lot of our old friends and even some of our new friends. So please, I invite you to sit back, relax, and join me as we go in search of what's hot in Munich. So we're standing here in front of this year's special exhibit, which is on meteorites, and I'm glad to see that Bob Jones is here to help us out and to walk us through what's hot in Munich. So Bob, thanks for coming to Munich and helping us out here.
Quite welcome. I love being here. This is a great European show, one of the greatest in the world.
Absolutely,
really
absolutely, it is.
And this year's theme is meteorites, and what you're going to see here is a range of meteorites, some of which are very old, going back as far as 1751, right up until within just a couple of months of the show in 2014. It's quite amazing. This little bruiser weighs well over 300 kilograms. It's a stony meteorite, and that's the thing we want to point out to you. There are two basic types of meteors you'll see here. One is a nickel iron, and the other is stony, or as they call them, carbonaceous chondrites. There is a third sort of a sub class that's called pallasites. They're related to the carbonaceous chondrites.
Okay.
So what we'll see first of all are the stonies as we go into the exhibit, and then as we come out we'll see more of the nickel irons. And there is a decided difference between the two, as we'll point out as we go through.
Well, terrific. I can't wait to see it, so why don't we go ahead?
Away we go.
Okay.
This is a relatively recent fall here in Germany. It came down in 2002, and it's a good example of what we were talking about earlier, the carbonaceous chondrites. It's a stony meteorite, and you notice the surface is quite smooth. It came through the atmosphere and burned, but the surface didn't pit or get a lot of features to it. So it came in more or less smoothly, and when it landed, it makes very difficult to find these stony meteorites because they don't necessarily respond well to a metal detector, and they don't have the characteristics that you think of in a meteorite with all the pock marks and unusual surface. So these are a little more difficult to find. Yeah, this is a stony meteorite that was found in 1976, and they've broken it open so you can see the interior. And that doesn't look much different from a piece of granite or something like that. So again, they're a little more difficult to find. One of the nice things is that when a stony or any meteorite lands in Greenland or Antarctica or out in the desert, they're a little more exposed and so easier to find. Never easy, but at least you have a better chance of finding them. In a wooded area, very difficult. Good morning, Dietrich. Thank you for being here. I wanted to hear this wonderful story you have about a meteorite that was found many years ago, but just recently you identified it as a meteorite. Can you tell us about that?
It's a fascinating story about this rock. It's about 1.4 kilo heavy, and this rock was found several decades ago, about 60 years ago, by these two men which are now over 70 years. When they were young boys, they found this peculiar rock in the farmland when walking around, and they recognized it as something special because it was very heavy, it had some metal inside, and so they recognized it must, maybe it was a meteorite, maybe it fell from the sky, but nobody was sure about it. So they kept it for curiosity, and 20 years later they gave it to this friend of them.
Another 70-year-old.
And he kept it also for 30 years in its garden.
I see.
It laid around, and only this year in spring, this man found it again and said, curious rock. Maybe I make some telephone calls, and he called me and brought me the stone, and I saw it and I recognized it. It's a meteorite, and it was a great surprise for me.
Good for you.
Because I have seen lots of hundreds or thousands of meteorons that people brought to me, but this was a genuine chondrite I have seen. Then we cut a piece off and we made analysis. It's a H5 ordinary chondrite, and it's 60 years on Earth, but it's almost fresh, as you can see here, fresh metal inside. It's not an ugly stone, it's a stone from the sky.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And it's very rare for Bavaria. In our country with lots of vegetation, it's hard to find meteorite. You can find them in the desert. Not easy, but you can find them. You can search and find, but it's a great thing to find meteorite here in Bavaria. Now, it's the sixth one only.
How did it end up here at the show?
Well, we made scientific analysis, and when we were sure that it's a meteorite, we sent the information to Meteoritical Society to make it official. And just some weeks before the show, these three men sold the meteorite to Christoph Keilmann, the organizer of the Munich Show.
Good.
And he presented it as a gift to the Bavarian State Museum, because this piece of rock from the sky, this meteorite, should be a cornerstone of a new museum that is planned here in Munich.
And at the presentation, you were there, and the Princess of
Princess
Bavaria?
of Bavaria was here.
What a special event.
A great event.
Yeah.
Everybody was happy to have a new Bavarian meteorite.
Well, I'm so pleased to meet you, because you did something very significant in science. You recognized the meteorite and researched it. That's
it was
wonderful.
a great pleasure for me.
That's great. Thank you, Dietrich, for being here. I really appreciate it. Well, we've talked about stony meteorites, or carbonaceous chondrites, and how smooth they are and how difficult to identify. Let's talk a little bit about nickel iron meteorites. Here's one that fell out in the desert, and that really makes it a little easier to find. And the amazing thing about this, which was found in 2009, is that it created, when it hit, created an amazing crater. And because it was in the desert, the crater didn't weather away quickly, and so some nice photographs have been made of it, even from space. And the men found this, dug it up. They always fragment, but notice the surface. This one happens to be pretty smooth compared to most nickel irons, but it's still easily identified as a nickel iron. We've only recently realized that from outer space, most of the meteorites come from that belt between Jupiter and the inner planets. But once in a while, a meteor will crash into the moon or crash into another planet and knock part of that moon or part of the planet off, and it ends up being pulled in by Earth's gravity. And here's an example of it. This is actually a Mars-Earth meteorite. They think this was knocked off Mars and landed on the Earth. It hit here in 2011, and it's a stone meteorite. And notice, most stony meteorites are smooth, but this guy really got beat up when he was knocked off Mars. So it's kind of an unusual shape. It's a beautiful little thing, and to think that Mars is represented here at this meteorite exhibit by this little baby here. In my opening comments, I talked about the two main types of meteorites, nickel iron and stony. But there is a third type. It's kind of a mix between stony and nickel iron. They're called pallasites. This is a backlit, wonderful example of a pallasite because it has nickel iron in it, but it also has large phenocrysts of minerals, and which is more representative of a stony. So this is a marvelous example of a palisite specimen. It was found in, let's see, about 1951, I believe, and of course it's been cut and polished so you can see the interior and backlit to show off the mineral content. Here's a great example of a nickel iron. It's so characteristic of a nickel iron meteorite because as it came through the atmosphere, the intense heat created by friction with the atmosphere scooped out bits and pieces of the nickel iron and made these scallop marks all over it. So when you see something like this, guaranteed it's a meteorite. This actually fell in Siberia in 1947, and it's really a great example of a nickel iron meteorite. Now, when they were studying these early on, they wanted to see what effect coming through the atmosphere had. The pressure and the heat are very intense, and what they did was cut it and look at the surface that was cut, and they saw strange looking patterns and lines. And a German scientist by the name of Widman, called them Widmanstätten lines. And here's a great example of the Widmanstätten lined meteorite. Notice the separation between the two different metals, iron, which is sort of gray, and nickel, which is a very bright straight line pattern. It was found in 1923 in Mexico, good old Mexico. I don't think there's anyone in America or on Earth, for that matter, didn't see the television picture of a big bright streak of light going across the sky over Russia, and when it hit and when it exploded, it shattered windows, it injured people. It was really a spectacular event in 2013, and this has 3 examples of that particular meteorite. It's a stony, and it was I don't even know the total weight of it because a big chunk of it fell in a lake, which they did recover incidentally. But these are really good examples of that 2013 meteorite that lit up the sky over Russia, scared a lot of people, and it kind of suggests what could happen on Earth if we really got whacked by a meteorite. With a young gentleman who is famous for his absolutely fantastic mineral paintings, Eberhard Equit. In 1994, he produced his first book, which was just a great success. 2002, he produced his second book, and now he's going to produce his third book of minerals. It will be introduced at this show in Munich in 2015. So this will give you an idea of what's in that book. Eberhard,
yes.
Nice to meet you again.
Nice to see you.
You have a beautiful lady standing next to you.
This is my wife, Christine. She helped me. She helped me always by my next book.
All right. She's the power behind the throne.
Yeah, we have in the next year married 50 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. 50 years, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is, I can't wait till this comes out. You've done absolutely marvelous paintings.
Yeah.
This is just an introduction document that he's given me just so you can see some of the work that he's going to do. This will be released in Munich in 2015.
In the book, in this book, maybe between 80 and 100 plates, new.
How long have you been working on it?
Oh, I'm working on this book 8 years. Today.
Wow.
Today, 8 years long.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have minerals representing countries from all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah, Russia,
all over
China.
The world. No Antarctic, no Arctic or Greenland. All over the all over the world. All over the world. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, listen, this has been very, very interesting. I look forward to the final copy of your work.
Yeah.
That's
I hope
great.
so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
I enjoy meeting you. We've known each other since 1994.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Rudolf?
Hello, Bob. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
Great
This
to see
is
you.
wonderful.
It's always a pleasure.
I saw a dioptase here that is particularly vibrant, and I know Sumeb has produced, countless dioptases. But that
some
is
has
particularly
produced.
attractive.
Yeah, look at
Marvelous.
this specimen,
Yeah, look at
yeah.
the coverage on that. Every one looks like a little emerald jewel. How long ago did that come out of the ground?
Maybe about 40 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's an old-timer.
Yeah.
You know if it's from the upper or lower oxide zone? Probably the lower.
Honestly, I don't know exactly because so many pieces came out
Yeah.
and nobody can say
Yeah.
if it's from upper or
It looks
lower.
like the lower oxide
Maybe
zone.
the lower the quality at least is the best you
Absolutely.
can look for
Absolutely.
dioptase.
It's just
I mean,
wonderful.
the luster, gemines, and it's beautiful because it's also the crystals are mainly single isolated on this
That's
piece.
right.
You
That's
have
right. All individual
the calcite
crystals.
dolomite matrix between. Yeah.
Great contrast.
The
Yeah.
great contrast on this
Wonderful.
piece. Yeah.
That's the kind of a specimen
beautiful.
everyone would like to have in their collection.
When
It's
it
just
comes
beautiful.
to quality, this is the best I've ever seen. Yeah, that's a beautiful emerald.
This I can identify very quickly, an emerald of course, but it's from the Casquez mine, and it so happens I've been underground there and watched them dig these things. I didn't see anything like this, so that's marvelous.
You hardly get this so nice on matrix, and this is really the best green color you can get.
It is,
The
yeah.
color on this piece is really marvelous. And it's funny, I got this on my summer vacation this year.
Did you
so
really? At
it was
the
a
mine?
nice vacation.
Did you get it at the mine?
No, not at the mine, but out of an old collection.
Oh, okay.
But I know this piece, I brought it home and my father realized the piece in about 25 years ago.
Really?
It was here at the show in Munich. So it was funny to see
It's come back.
to see it again
Yeah,
and coming
yeah.
it back.
The contrast between that intense green color and the and the white calcitic background sets it off beautifully. But many dealers always have something sort of,
I
hidden
brought
away.
one
You go.
special rock which I can show you
All
from
right.
the back. Yeah.
Let's take a look. Oh, look at that.
This is the best hematite I've ever seen from Switzerland.
Adularia, of course.
And I
But the-
made many trips to this country.
The blades are just beautifully parallel growth, so you get the fine Eisenrose effect. It's just a wonderful piece.
Yeah, you have the fat hematite on the white adularia, so you have the contrast, you have the aesthetics, and it's wonderful. It's
to see something like
the
that
top luster.
undamaged. This is so fragile
this
on its
is-
edges.
Yeah, normally they are heavily damaged.
That's
Honestly,
really
this
good.
is the best hematite from Swiss I have ever seen.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
you've had the experience there, so
yeah.
that's a true statement.
This was found, I can tell you, in 1996.
Oh,
And the guy who had it, he had 3 showcases full of hematite.
Yeah.
But this was by far the best in my opinion. Yeah.
So that's not
I
very
was
old.
really lucky to get it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Rudolf, thanks so much
Well,
for
thanks
showing
for
us those
stopping by.
specimens. Yeah.
You're always
I-
welcome.
I enjoyed the green minerals and that
Besides the
hematite.
green one hematite.
That's a sweetheart. I always like to stop in this fella's booth because Jordi Fabre is one of the nicest, best-liked dealers in our business. He really is a gentleman, and he's got great stuff as usual. Show us some of the things you've got, Jordi.
You say too much lies. No, too much lies.
Good to see
please.
you. Nah,
Why
no,
you drink
no,
so
you're-
much?
You're
no,
special.
no, no.
No, I haven't had a wine today.
Okay, I trust you. Okay, what is fine, what is nice in main shows like in Munich is that outside the things that the dealer bring to the show, they could be new, or they could be old, or they could be recently founded. It's also the chance to know what happens on the market.
Yes.
Because you are located in a place where everybody will come to you and they will show you what they have. And in that case, I found new things in the show that I believe they are very good. This is not really new, but this is a very nice hydroboracite. They are, of course, the world's best.
Yeah.
They appeared 2 years ago in a quarry in Germany, so in this country. And working the big blocks of the material, they still release some good piece like this one with the crystal standing up.
Yeah.
Very gemmy,
Yeah.
very rich.
That's a rare calcium magnesium borate. Okay? But they don't find that in Boron, California. They
No.
find it right here, and that's a honey.
Correct.
That's an excellent piece.
And the transparency and the quality and the luster, it's really outstanding because the borates, as you know, they tend to be dull many times,
Yeah.
or they lose water and they decay.
Yeah, that's right.
This is really clean and neat material for a borate.
That'll hold its luster. That's a good one.
And working on that blocks of material, they found another thing which is extremely rare. It's a strontiognorite. I don't know if the camera will take the quality of this so rare mineral, found before just in another mine, but in that quarry they found this new species for the locality, and the quality is very good.
And it's stibiogenorite.
Strontiognorite, to be...
That's right. I'm sorry. It's a strontian mineral. And it's from a quarry in Thuringen.
Correct.
Germany.
Niedersachsen in Thuringia, in Germany.
Niedersachsen.
The same quarry who supplied the world's best for several borates.
Yeah.
So it becomes a locality in the top level like Boron, as you mentioned before.
For a rare species collector, that's one that would really please them.
Yes, you know this book, it's a German book from Stefan Weiss, explaining how rare are the minerals.
Yeah.
Please.
Lists the minerals by rarity. Now that's something most collectors don't care about, but unless they're really advanced, and then they really want to know.
Please,
this
Bob,
book will do it for you.
Give me a favor. Search the strontiognorite in this book.
Yeah, here's the listing for strontiaborate. Okay, and it's got 3 stars. Now that means it's so rare, and that you'll almost never see it anywhere. But if you look at the specimen, the crystals are very large for the mineral, and which indicates that with this discovery, this information is now incorrect and needs to be upgraded.
Absolutely.
Okay? Yeah.
I agree. This is the Wangan mines in China.
In Upper Mongolia.
Upper Mongolia in China. And now they supply a fabulous red octahydrofluorides with different sulfides like magnetite and arsenoperite, some inside the crystal.
Yeah.
And this is exciting in terms that you have an alpine quality of a fluoride together with the sulfides typical from a kind of a skarn.
Yeah.
So you mix 2 different walls. The alpine quality with the skarn quality, which usually is dull and black and not so good.
Yep.
So look the quality of that fluoride. It can compete with any fluoride in the wall.
It looks like it's kind of zoned too.
Correct.
The color. Yeah. Lovely color. Plum color, I call it.
Even better when I light behind.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. No, that's nice.
You catch the color?
Yeah.
Just fantastic. And you can see the zoning, as you say before.
To have sulfides included in the fluorite makes it
Exactly.
very unusual. Very nice. Yep. Look at this. Feldspar, okay, smoky quartz, nothing unusual about that. Some beautiful little albite rosettes around here, but they're bluish colored, and wonderful color. What's really interesting is if I turn this, and you can zoom in on this, the feldspars are also blue in the interior. Look at that. Isn't that marvelous? And this is a new find from China.
A locality for the moment, they say Yuanxi in Fujian, but who knows? It could be from Yuanxi, it could be from any place, because they keep secret the localities when they found first in order to sell well and collect more.
Yeah,
but finally we will know it, as usual.
Yeah, certainly different from the feldspars and smoky quartzes from Colorado. And look at, these are just sweet. Lovely little.
And it's like a barite.
Yeah.
A blue barite.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's albite.
Yeah. Marvelous. All right. That's a great piece.
Bob, thank you so much for your visit.
I enjoy visiting with you every time. You're
Enjoy the show. You have plenty of things to look for.
For sure. Jürgen,
Hello.
nice to see you again.
Good to see you, yeah. Hello.
I'm from the Western United States, so I really appreciate Western minerals in the United States. And you got a shelf full of absolute beauties that I want you to talk about. Bixbyites from the Thomas Mountain Range.
Maybe first, quite a big
The
crystal.
luster on that and the size of that crystal. You know, Bixbyites, most of them are just little tiny crumbs. And that,
You know,
it's
years
enormous.
ago, a crystal with a 3-4 millimeters was the average.
Exceptional. Yeah. This is really exceptional. Yeah.
This is just a small sample, but I love it because you have 3 minerals right near
Look at
together.
that. Yeah.
You see the
Pseudobrokite
pseudobrokite.
right there. Yeah.
The big spider
And
and
a
the
little bit
topaz.
of topaz. Now, you told me something about the topaz that surprised me.
Yeah.
Usually they fade if you get them out in sunlight.
Very famous, you know, the topaz from Maynard claim.
Yeah.
The big crystals.
Yeah.
They fade
Yep.
into white, and the color is gone.
Yeah.
If you leave these in sunlight for maybe 2 days, they get a pink color, and this color is stayable.
Oh, pink
Nice
topaz.
pink color, yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I've never seen
That's
one.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. No, that's the classic
That's,
matrix. That is just
Yeah, the
gorgeous.
rhyolite matrix.
Yeah, look at that. The crystal form on that is just marvelous. My goodness. I don't think I've ever seen a group that big. I really haven't.
This is one of our best at the
Oh,
moment,
nice,
non-matrix,
nice.
modified crystal.
Yeah, very nice. These are just, I've never seen this many in one box.
Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful.
We had
Here we go again. All right. Oh, look at
also the
these.
crystals, which are not perfect. They're
Very nice.
very nice
The
crystals.
luster on these
Luster.
is just remarkable. Look at that.
I don't know if you see the crosses on the crystal faces.
Yeah. Modifications, yeah. Look at this. Oh. There he is. There's the real worker, right?
That's the next generation.
Yeah, good. Yeah. How did you feel when you dug these? Excited? Huh?
Excited, like always,
Yeah. Well,
When he was a boy, was 14, I sent him and he worked for 5 weeks with John at Maynard claim. He drilled the holes, he blasted. That
all
was
right.
fun.
good
Great
training.
memories,
Good
yeah.
training.
Good training as well.
We appreciate it too.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All the best for you.
Christian, thank
All
you.
the best. Thanks.
Thank you, Brian.
Bye.
Hello, Bob.
Thank you
Nice
for
to meet
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
Appreciate this.
Hi, Bob. Nice to meet you again.
Nice meeting you again. One of the more exciting dealers that I've come across here at the show is the Wendel Minerals dealer that Wally and
Thank
his
you.
wife have. And that's because they're featuring the Dr. Wilkie collection. Now, Dr. Wilkie was a collector who spanned the entire range of minerals. He had a reference collection as well as an extremely fine mineral collection, fine quality minerals. Wally, you're going to tell us a little bit about that, right?
Dr. Wilke was a very famous mineral collector and also dealer in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Okay.
Especially in Germany, and he started in the 60s also to go to Tucson to buy minerals there. He was very, very engaged with the minerals. Is it right? Engaged?
Involved.
Yes, involved in the mineral collecting. Yes, and he built a fantastic collection, combined systematics and also aesthetic specimens. And if you want, I can show you some specimens.
Yes, please do.
Okay, please
Let's
follow
go in
me.
and look.
Okay. This is a fantastic killer of gadolinite.
Yeah, I particularly asked to include this because this mineral had a significant role to play in the discovery of elements. But anyway, when they began to chemically study gadolinite, they realized they had elements they'd never seen before. And it was the study of this that really developed the search for all of the rare earth elements.
Yes.
And of this particular species, this is a really quite remarkable crystal. It's wonderful, very sharp, beautiful crystal form.
Yes, and very big for that what it is.
They're found in Norway. That was where they began.
Yes, it's a
Wonderful.
great specimen. Yes. You see, these are very sharp native bismuth crystals.
Look at those bismuth crystals.
Yes.
They are, they're so much better than the ones that came out of Cobalt, Canada. It's marvelous.
And they are unetched. Yes,
Okay.
they're only
They're just
cleaned.
natural. Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Okay,
This is best quality of Schlema bismuth.
Where's it? What's the locality of it?
It's Chef 38, the upper lows of Schlema. In Saxony.
Okay.
Yes.
Look at that.
Great specimen.
It is.
Yes,
Really
of course,
astounding
yes.
sized crystals.
Yes. It's plagionite.
Plagionite.
Plagionite on cuboctahedrons of galena from the Pfannenberger Einigkeit mine in Siegerland.
Yeah.
You see here.
Yeah. Those are really, really
Yes,
rare. I mean,
it's a very rich and very aesthetically specimen. Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
It's got more on it than I've ever seen.
Yes.
It's
One of
definitely-
the best I've seen.
That's really, and the locality again?
Vandenberg Einigkeit in Siegerland.
Okay.
For this species, it is probably the most famous locality in Germany.
Okay, that's a good one. Another very
This
showy
is
piece.
one of my favorite specimens because my roots are in Greece, my mineralogical roots. Yes.
That's Greek?
That's Greek, yes. It's a rhodochrosite. You see here? Hold it. And what I like very much are the acicular crystals, the sharp crystals of arsenopyrite around it. It's very dramatic.
Very sharp.
Totally
round.
undamaged, yes.
Now, Greece has produced
Yes.
a nice range of things. I mean, you usually don't
Yes,
see
but this
things
is
that are
this is
this
outstanding
showy.
for the location.
Absolutely, this
yes.
is very, very showy.
Yes.
Wonderful thing. Now, what's the specific locality?
It's from Madame Laco mine in Stratoniki.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I'm familiar with Laurium or Lavrium as they call it.
Yes, but
now,
this the Chalkidiki Peninsula is about 500 kilometers northern of Lavrium.
Okay. That's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Yes, I like it.
Everybody
very much.
loves rhodochrosite, and this is from a rare locality, obviously.
Yes, in this quality, they have been very rare.
Yep.
This is perfect viewelite. You see here crystals.
Yeah.
They are gemmy
Yeah.
together with calcite from Kladno. This is a very unusual specimen. They discovered in the 80s 20 specimens
Okay.
of this, and this is one of it.
It's one of those you don't
them,
see
yes.
around at all.
Yes, that's a great specimen.
Very uncommon.
Very, very rare. You want to be surprised more?
Yes, I always like
I try to
surprises.
I try to do my best.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, look at those ram's horns.
This is a gorgeous silver, very thick wires.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Beautiful form.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it very much.
Where is that from? Where's the locality?
It's Himmelfürst mine in Freiburg in Saxony.
That's an old timer from the Himmelfürst. Wow. Look at those wires.
Yes, this is.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
Oh, how I wish.
Me too.
Yeah. But you happen to be the fortunate one who owns it. Now, is this out of Dr. Wilkie's collection too?
No, this is
Okay.
another collection.
Okay.
This is another collection.
From the Himmelfürst, a very,
From
very
Himmelfürst
famous
mine, yes.
German mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are analyzers working, and the last results are that all of them from Freiburg are no fakes. These are the last results
Oh,
we have.
okay. Okay,
So,
that's what we're talking
yes.
about. Yeah. Yeah, for a period of time, there was some question of whether some people
Yes.
were making these.
Yes, but there have been
There's
very-
no way.
Yes.
That is so beautiful.
Yes,
and, you know,
of course,
the form and the curls and everything. There's no way you could reproduce that. It's just gorgeous. You know, well,
I love it very much.
yeah, thank you for showing
I
us
wish
that. That's
I would
wonderful.
collect.
I'm glad I don't. I can't afford anything anymore. That's wonderful.
There was a competition for the best mineral, and this specimen won in 1987 the Victor Goldschmidt competition for the best specimen.
The locality
of the Munich Show.
Yeah, the locality.
Look
on
at
that
this
is
Vivianite. This
look at
is
the color, and that's from Pupo.
inimaginable.
Yeah, it's from Pupo.
It's from Pupo, yes,
Yeah.
from Ichikola mine.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah, you see singles and 2 or 3 crystals on a matrix, but that's
This is
a marvelous thing.
fantastic. The secular crystals.
Yeah. I don't see any
Yes.
damage.
Yes. I think I ask myself how they brought out the specimen
Yeah.
of the mine.
You know, the nature does marvelous things. You know,
Yes,
and this
of
is a treasure. It really is. It's just beautiful.
Thank you for your confidence.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Bob. It was
Appreciate
a pleasure
very
to
much.
meet you.
Take care. Alfred, good to see you. I understand that you have discovered some fine, not discovered, but received some fine cassiterite.
Yes, I absolutely do. We had a great find of cassiterite exactly at the Munich Show last year. On Tuesday of the show, I got a notice from my friends in Bolivia that they blasted into the biggest hole for 20 years. And quality turned out to be wonderful.
Okay, what mine was that?
This is the San Antonio mine in Biloco in Bolivia.
Okay.
This large baby here is 69 kilograms, as pristine as you could wish for such a size.
Yeah.
And you see it's sparkling, it's brilliant, it's transparent. if you light it up in a darker room, it's like a disco ball.
That's marvelous, yeah. Brilliant crystals of cassiterite, yeah.
I had a hard fight with the miners because usually they would crack something like this down in the mine to be able to lift it out.
Sure.
So I had a long fight and some long night phone calls during last year's Munich show to persuade them not to do it and to leave it intact.
Good. It's nice. Some museum should own that. That's
well,
wonderful.
I hope so, yeah. It should be on public display.
In the same area, you get Fabreites and Wurtzite, which is a much rarer tin mineral. And this particular specimen has got not only Wurtzite and Fabreite, but I see some nice little apatites in here, and it's all on quartz.
Absolutely.
Now, the locality again.
It's a floater.
Wow.
This is from Kami mine, which is a mine in Bolivia in Cochabamba.
Okay.
Probably 100 kilometers air distance as the crow flies from the cassiterite mine, which is best known for its Japanese twin quartz.
Oh, that's right.
Which didn't come out for a long time.
Yeah.
And something like this, I happened to be there when they found this, just by coincidence.
Marvelous.
It was the first time ever they found something like this. Even those who've been for a long time in Bolivia have never seen something this size and this quality and this combination from Kami mine.
These Wurtzite are enormous. You know,
absolutely, they're wonderful.
It's not a common mineral, and to see them so many in such fine shape, good sharp crystals, it's great. And of course, the Fabreite has a luster that doesn't stop. That's really beautiful, nice termination. Isn't that wonderful?
That's an amazing Anderite. The find is known. That's from the 2004 pocket.
Okay.
This is the last.
In what mine?
That's in San Jose mine in Oruro.
Okay.
It was a pretty famous find. They hardly ever find Anderites this size.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And these happened to be in a miner's box somewhere under his bed. And I got in touch with him through friends and was able to get these.
So it's a lead, tin.
I don't know the composition by heart, but it's a silver mineral. Yeah. It's silver and it's a very, very complex formula and ultra rare.
Beautiful.
These are these things.
Look at
They're
that.
little gems.
Isn't that a beautiful
The quartz
specimen?
is amazing there. They do come with highly lustrous arsenopyrite and a cassiterite.
Glass,
and
clear quartz, brilliant cassiterites. What a perfect specimen. Look at that.
And this came out 2 months ago.
Look at
I got another notice.
That. Oh my goodness.
And this is a very interesting combination. They found this the first time in all the 100 years that they mine there. They're all massive arsenopyrite.
Yeah, I can see that.
Usually the arsenopyrite grows after the cassiterite and covers it. Or it grows together and it's kind of mixed in between.
Intergrown,
Intergrown. But these are single cassiterites of very, very bright color.
There you have the gemmy.
You have the gemminess, you have very good luster, really single isolated crystals on the matrix.
You see how the zoning runs along the crystal boundaries, the facial boundaries? It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
And you have ultra lustrous.
Wonderful. Yeah. That's a great piece. Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate that you like it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much for
Good luck on your next trip. Get
Thanks
another pocket.
Thank you. I will. I will do my best. I'll go into the mines and get these gemmy things for you.
All right. Morning, Rob.
Hey, Bob.
Good to see you again. You know, I love to come to your shop here because you have such great rocks, and I know you're going to show us a couple of things that are eye openers today.
I'm going to try.
Attaboy.
I got a few surprises for you too when we're done.
You always have those.
But yeah, we have one of the glam cases here at the end of the booth. I know intellectually this is my favorite rock in the case.
All right.
So that's why it's in there. Yeah. Of course.
Isn't that marvelous? That's North Polar?
Yeah. So this would be from the early 90s or late 80s. Probably the late 80s from what I'm told.
Well, even I would have frozen my whatever to go up and dig those. That's marvelous. The color.
Yeah, I didn't find this out until much later, but apparently all of these were mined in the late 80s or maybe very early 90s.
Okay.
And when we saw them in the US in the 90s, we thought they were fresh.
Yeah.
But most of them were a decade or more old.
That's marvelous. A beautiful,
Hold it.
beautiful piece.
It's got luster.
Look at that.
No repairs.
And
you know, people don't see axonites good enough anymore to really appreciate them and rank them with world-class minerals. But there are world-class axonites.
they are, absolutely. This far exceeds anything that I've seen before.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That was in Ed David's collection, actually.
Was it? Huh.
But when he had it, it was about this big.
Uh-huh.
And I sold it. I bought it back, and I finally took the risk and trimmed it.
You got a lot of nerve.
Yeah. It's fun. You know what? It's fun.
If it comes out right.
Yeah.
But those are exceptional. They are superior to anything we were able to get 50 years ago.
Thank you.
This is really a fine piece.
This is from Keith Wentz's new diggings.
Okay.
This is actually from a find about 3 years ago. And there were a few flats that were found and put away before he started publicizing it.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
No repairs.
The color is intense.
Yeah.
Really something. Yeah.
I was at the Shanghai show last April.
Okay.
And someone comes up to me. They weren't even quite sure what they had.
Really?
We need a secret meeting. You need to come to our hotel. So, usually when a Chinese guy approaches me and says I need to go to his hotel room, I go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, wouldn't
you never know.
Right?
Yeah.
So, went to the hotel room. I had no idea what I'm going to see. It's a dealer I hadn't done a lot with.
Okay.
He says, well, there's something new. And he starts opening piece after piece come out of the toilet paper of these gorgeous purple things.
Oh, look at those.
And
the color is so intense.
I mean, my breath caught.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't even know what I was looking at. I knew it was something weird.
Yeah.
In giant crystals. So these are the world's largest paracoquimbites by far. And they just kept unpacking them. A lot of about 50 pieces. And I'm just sitting there. I'm so rarely stunned.
Yeah.
I was speechless.
Now those are from far out in western China, aren't they?
Well, yeah, it's where they're having, let's say, political difficulties right now in Xinjiang.
Okay.
And
the autonomous region.
Yes, the first couple of times we tried to get the location, we were not given the correct location. I believe this is the correct location.
Okay.
And there were 2 large pockets which came out, maybe 100 specimens in total of any quality.
Well, the color on those is really intense. It's beautiful.
Now, some of them come in this weird matrix. As you know, it's an iron sulfate that's soluble.
Okay.
So it's actually in the matrix as well.
Huh. Yeah. Slightly purple tint. Yeah. Really nice.
Now, some of them, like this one in back, are in this weird asbestiform matrix. Very few. Most of them fall off the matrix and occur as loose floaters by the time the pocket was found.
I see. Because the matrix is friable and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very crumbly. Yeah. So we have not stabilized these per se.
Oh, okay.
You can. Yeah. Coquimbite is soluble. If you want to, you can stabilize it, basically with a coating. Yeah. And that will seal it.
Look at the size of that thing. Holy mackerel.
Let me pull that out.
Yeah.
But it's like the blue halites that have been out recently. There's degrees of stability.
Yeah.
They do form in a very dry deposit. You don't want to expose them to humidity. Yeah. That's true.
These look very stable.
I think as long as they're not made wet and exposed to, again, humidity, they should be fine. Yeah. But, if they do start to go, it's just a surface alteration. Literally just wiping it with a wet cloth or a wet oil cloth will clean them then.
Yeah, oiling them would certainly be an advantage.
Yes, or you can mineral oil it permanently. Yeah. But in any case, they're
huge
just
thing.
World class. So China keeps surprising. I was there last week, and there's nothing new at the moment.
Wait till tomorrow.
At the moment, but tomorrow you never know. The traditional mines, the things that have been producing recently, are slowing down. And part of that is economics. Some of them are ore mines. But with the growing market there, people are going out looking for new mines just for specimens.
Yeah, it'll happen. Sure, has been happening, in fact. Yes. My gosh.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no labels for it. Yeah. I'll just show that so you can see how gemmy it is.
Wonderful.
But it's obviously a very old piece.
Yeah. I don't remember ever seeing one that size botryoidal form. Little tiny pointy crystals. That was about
like
all that came out of. There you go. Yeah. That's pretty typical.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And this, one of my favorite deposits because it produces outrageously modified galenas and bornonites on siderite in Neudorf, Germany. That is just a wonderful piece. Yeah. Exceptionally large crystal.
Big piece too.
Yeah.
No repairs.
Yeah, most of them are just miniatures or smaller. That's really nice.
So most of these date to the 1800s, early to mid 1800s.
Really?
This was one of the early places where crystallographers went to look at
Okay.
what crystals really are. They could see and study the different forms of galena.
Sure, because you got cube face and octahedral face and dodecahedral face all on the same crystal.
What's nice about this piece, which by the way used to be one of ours, from the Smithsonian, it's complete all around.
Yeah,
actually.
look at this. Yeah, nice siderite.
So most of them are plates. This is a whole pedestal,
yeah,
and it has the sphalerite association.
All right, that's a honey. I love old classics. I'm sorry, showing my age maybe, but that's just wonderful.
No, Neudorf galenas are sexy enough for everyone to like.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we don't have a lot hidden away, but we're going to look at two other things that we have tucked away
Good.
here. So both of these are things that just give me goosebumps.
Yeah, you sort of waved that cuprite in front of me a few moments ago, and that is a huge crystal. Oh, look at the color. Look at the color.
You don't need a lot of light to get it.
It's so gemmy. It's wonderful.
So these are from the 90s, mid-90s.
Okay.
Came out,
locality?
The Red Dome Gold Mine in Australia.
Okay, Western Australia. Yeah.
And it's the largest crystal that I know of.
Yeah,
certainly.
Yeah. Beautifully modified, the intense color. That reminds me, that's even more gemmy than the Angania cuprites. That would fasten into a clear stone.
Yeah, these have an internal brightness to them that's exceptional.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
But usually they're 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter crystals at most on small pieces. This is an exceptional thing.
Yeah, this is not damage, incidentally. It's what you see here. That's contact.
It's weird. It's hoppered growth with contact, where it grew against other crystals.
Yeah.
So this turned up in the 90s, disappeared into a collection, and hasn't been seen since. They just have this natural gem-like.
Yeah. Well, coming from
sparkle.
Arizona, of course, I have an affection for copper minerals.
Yeah.
And that cuprite is just, I'm sorry it's not from Bisbee.
So there was an exhibit of Chessy minerals at the St. Marie Show.
Right.
There's been several major collections sold recently of French minerals. So we have a lot of comparables to look at. But this is what I'd call a Bisbee quality Chessy.
Oh, look at that.
That hasn't even been cleaned.
Yeah.
This is out of an old collection.
Yeah.
It's never been cleaned by anything but water.
That is really classic. The Chessy locality was so productive. Look at that.
Now, if I saw that come up in the U.S. unlabeled in a collection, I would actually assume it was Bisbee.
Yeah, sure.
You would too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And here's something really interesting, and it sort of puts minerals in perspective.
Oh, it sits nice.
Yeah. So I brought it here to show the labels. This is what's interesting. So it's from the Helsinki Museum, God knows when. But there was an earlier label, and look at what it says: copper carbonate. Blue copper carbonate.
Yeah, that was what they used to call it. Sure.
It's dating this to before the actual species name of azurite.
Yeah.
1800, 1810.
Early 1800 at least, yeah.
But on a common mineral species, something you take for granted today, to see a label from before they even named it,
that's great.
I just find that amazing.
Well, that deposit was actually worked during the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
And then, kind of lost, and then it was revived a couple of times. And in the 1800s, when serious mining began, and they were mining the chalcopyrite as well.
Was it?
Yeah, it was actually a chalcopyrite deposit that that had a lot of carbonates with it.
And they just crushed it all.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, that's a wonderful piece.
Yeah, I thought you would like that.
Rob,
thanks for
always
coming
a
to Munich.
surprise. This is great. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, you're bratwurst and minerals.
Good morning, Christos.
Good morning.
Glad to see you again.
Glad to see you
I
too.
was fascinated with your displays because it's all Greek minerals.
Yes,
and
it
that's
is.
something you just don't see these days. There's so many Greek minerals together, especially from a place like, I call it Laurium, you call it Lavrium, which is one of the great classic silver deposits in the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I understand this is your first year at Munich.
Yes, it is.
And first show as a dealer.
Exactly.
All right. What prompted you to want to do that?
Well, I needed to make a living out of this. I love this job. It's my dream.
Yeah.
I think it went well.
That's great. That's great. You have a wonderful adamite in the case that I'd like to take a closer look at.
Yes, sir. This is actually a luminous adamite, not Cuprian, as we usually see from the locality.
And that is
for the variety is one of the best specimens that I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And it comes from my personal collection.
the matrix is.
The matrix is aragonite, and the balls, the clusters of individual crystals of atomite make these balls, which are very large for the locality.
Yeah.
And they are luminous.
Okay.
You can tell by the color, but it's also analyzed. And for the variety, this is the best I've seen.
You know, most of the atomites from Laurium are Cuprian atomite, but this has the aluminum in the structure, so it's an alumino atomite. Very, very nice. Wonderful sized balls. I did not expect to see azurite with this suite of Greek minerals. So do you have a good one that I can look at?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Here it is. That's a very nice one.
Look at that.
It's from a recent find in Christiana mine. I really haven't seen any better than this.
Yeah, that's very, very showy. Is the white matrix a gibbsite or a
The
clay?
white matrix is arsenocrandallite. It's a rare mineral as well.
Really? All right.
Yes.
The color on the azurite is just
And the
very
contrast is
sweet.
excellent.
And the locality again?
It's the Christiana mine. Christiana mine in Lavrion.
Okay.
Shaft 132.
Okay. How close to the old original silver mine is it?
It's very
Same
close. It's
region.
very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah, those deposits I think were basically limestone, weren't they? And then they
Yes.
altered.
Yes, and they altered.
Chris, thank you very much for taking the time to tell us about
you.
Greek minerals. I think the American public will enjoy seeing what you've got here.
I will be glad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Marcus.
Good morning, Tony. How are
Welcome
you?
to Munich again. This is wonderful.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Yeah, I've been admiring a lot of your minerals, and
Thank you very much.
you've got a specimen here that historically is just very interesting. It's an Amazonite.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
take a look at it?
Oh, of course. Go ahead. This one has a special history. It was sold 1906, so more than 100 years ago, by Lazar Khan to a German collector.
Isn't it?
And now
1996.
his grandson is selling part of the collection,
I
and
see.
that's the reason I got this specimen.
You know, compared to today's Amazonites, you know, this is quite average, but the history behind it,
Yeah.
you know, Lazar Khan was such a great contributor
course, yeah.
to the mineralogy. In fact, when they buried him, his tombstone is a crystal the shape of a conite.
Oh, okay. Where is it?
Yeah, in Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah. From the famous Yao Gang Xin mine, I suppose?
Huangang.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And the matrix is mostly quartz covered by Hindenburgite.
Yeah, you can see the quartz
Yeah.
on the backside.
And on the Hindenburgite are the
Hindenburgite crystals here.
pink fluorides.
But look at these cute little octahedrons. Nice color, and enough of them to make the specimen very aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know? It's really nice.
It's totally different than the Swiss fluorides.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah,
a great
yeah.
specimen for this Chinese locality.
Yeah, rare.
Yeah.
I've only seen 1 or 2 pink fluorides from there.
There are a few, not plenty, but a few.
Yeah, it produces a lot of fluorite, but pink, not so much.
That's true.
Very nice. Thank you.
That's a
Chinese
Yeah,
fluoride.
that's a Chinese fluoride, a new one.
Yeah.
I got it recently. They told me it's from Yaogangshan. So far, I have only seen 2 specimens, so I am not absolutely sure about the locality, but I like it.
Well,
so
I love the placement of the crystals.
looks
very,
like
very,
a necklace. So
very showy. Yeah.
very lustrous, and
Nice.
not oiled.
Nice. Okay. Nicely modified crystals too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. The luster is real. It's not oil. So
Yeah. Yeah. Good color.
yeah.
Yeah. Very, very showy piece.
That's
is
an
just
Old
gorgeous.
Sume
What a beautiful piece.
dioptase.
I love the color zoning. You know, the light green, dark green. Excellent crystal luster. Wonderful specimen. Anyone who collects Sumeb would like to own that. That's a beautiful
that's
piece.
not so bad.
Yeah, yeah. So you said it was old. What does that mean?
Well, the history, it was found about 1920, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And it comes with a lot of old labels of the former collectors. So
Yeah, that probably was collected while Friedrich Kegel, the German engineer, was still in charge.
That's possible.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Sure. So that may be it could even be a Kegel collected piece. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah.
That's another old timer.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got great color, great form, no damage.
No.
Just a beautiful, beautiful Cumberland, England barite.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Cumbria, I should say. Yeah. That is really nice. Just a little dolomite to dress it up a little bit.
Couple of small quartzes.
Yeah.
You see a nice color zoning of the hematite inside the enclosures.
Barite is, it has perfect cleavage, and to see a piece that large in that good condition is, it's very uncommon. It's a wonderful specimen.
Yeah. And that's again a new find, this time from Italy.
More fluorite.
More fluorite, yeah. It's from Sogno, Italy. The matrix is tiny quartz crystals.
Yeah, okay.
And the fluorite also shows a very nice color zoning.
Yeah, highly modified. Gosh, you've got cube faces,
Sogno, it's near
dodecahedral. Yeah.
Near to Bergamo.
Yeah. It looks like it's been slightly etched, or are those just growth patterns on the faces?
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
That's a typical hopped crystals.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The color zonings.
Yeah, just growth. Yeah. And look at this little cube down here. It's just got the little modifications. Very, very nice. Now on the white matrix.
It makes a really good contrast.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And that's new, you say?
That's new, yeah.
And the locality?
Sogno, it's near Bergamo in Italy.
Okay. Well, we expect to see more from there. Let's hope so.
Hopefully. I have a few smaller ones, but that's the number one piece.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for showing us.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Have a nice day
Marcus.
and have fun at the Munich Show.
Yes. Good luck, Marcus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, here we are at Kristalle's booth. Of course, they're famous for their gold specimens, but right now we're going to look at a sulfide that is really a killer. Very good. Wayne, good to see you again.
Very good.
By
Very
golly.
good to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Lois, our pleasure.
You're going to help us. This is some calcite.
This is a calcite
Look at
that we recently purchased from Wisconsin. It was in a collection down in Texas. The man parted with it, but not very happily, but we purchased it, and it's one of the finest ones that I've ever seen. The gentleman who took most of these out, Casey Jones, says it's the biggest and best large group that he had.
Yeah.
He said there were a few of them with maybe larger crystals, but for an overall group with no damage, he said this was the best one that he'd ever seen or ever dealt with.
And the Ladysmith was an open pit mine. It was in a cow field, and they discovered this ore body down deep, and they went in there and dug it. I went in with Casey. Casey and I used to collect together, and we went in and did a little digging. Nothing like this.
Yeah, not like that.
The pity is, if there is a pity to this story, the ore body continues on under a river, and the feds would not let them pursue the ore body under the river, so they had to close off, fill in the pit, and that's the end of it. So you'll never, ever see any Ladysmith chalcosites that aren't already out of the ground.
This is far better than any chalcosite from Cornwall in the British Museum would be much better.
Yeah, I did a study on chalcosites.
Yeah, I know you did.
For Bristol,
Connecticut, and
England.
England.
This is definitely a major winner. Just beautiful. This is just a cutie.
Yeah, is that nice, large?
The size of the crystals on that.
Inch across.
Yeah, beautiful terminations.
That came from the same gentleman.
Same
oh, really?
Yeah,
same collection as the chalcosites.
Same one.
Boy, that's a wicked piece.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
That Wayne.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
All right, very good.
Good morning, Anton.
Yeah, hi Bob. Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you.
Yeah, good to see you again.
My booth,
I just love some of your minerals here, and I'd like to talk about some of them.
Yes, I got some very special mineral specimens.
All right. You had some wonderful crocoites the last time I was with you. You've got one today that's just exceptional.
Yes, I got a really
Let's take a good look.
very fine piece. Let me show you this piece. This is a fantastic crocoite specimen that came now from a pocket that is behind the lower and upper Red River finds.
Okay.
You know the lower Red River last year, the pocket from last year was a very big pocket, about 7 meters long. And then Adam managed to come into another pocket, another chamber after that. And this comes from the end.
The size of
the lower Red River seam.
I'm astounded that they can collect a specimen like that and not do any damage to it. It's just wonderful.
Yes.
The color is better. It's more red than orange. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, the color is fantastic. And
What
you
a
see the
piece.
second generation crystals popping out on many points.
Little guys.
Yeah, little guys makes it even more attractive.
All right.
So this is a really a 360 rock you can show from any side.
Now the matrix has been
Fantastic.
stabilized.
Just a little where it's mounted on the base, but
Okay.
just very little. Of course, you need
Good.
to do that. These have needle-like crystals.
Yeah, look at that.
As you see,
Fuzzy
it's
little
totally
buggers.
unusual
Isn't
shape,
that
totally
sweet?
unusual form, and they grew in a pocket with rosacite. You see
Oh
here?
yeah,
This is rosacite
nice
matrix.
combination.
Yeah.
But the needle crystal form is so unusual for that mineral. It's just lovely.
It's really remarkable. That's the first I've ever seen also.
Yeah. And that is from?
Husser, Morocco.
Okay. Isn't that where Wen Wilsonite comes from?
Yes, you're right. And I also got the fantastic specimen of Wilsonite.
Oh,
let me show
to
you
see.
this in the back.
All right. Oh, look
It's
at the
crystals.
size of those crystals.
These are really fantastic.
Has
1.5 centimeter crystals isolated on a calcite matrix.
Yeah.
It's
from
one of the best, if not the best, ever found.
Has Wendel seen that?
Yes, Wendel has seen that. Yeah, and he loves it.
What did
yeah.
he say about it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. I would think
he was very, very excited about this
I would
piece
think
and
he'd
about
want to
this new
own
find.
one.
Yes, he has one also. This is
okay.
about equal to this. Yeah.
All right, good for him.
Yeah.
That's a lovely piece. Yeah. Well, Wendel, of course, is the editor of Mineralogical Records, so is quite well known.
Yeah.
That's a beauty.
This is a fantastic piece.
Oh,
look at this fantastic
what a beautiful
heliodur
gem.
crystal.
Yeah.
This comes from pegmatite 576 from Volodymyr, Volhynsky, Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The special thing about this crystal is it has smooth faces.
Yeah, it's not etched.
And etched, yeah, a little bit. There is a little bit etching actually. You can see on this side.
Yeah.
Little on this, but
it's very minor.
very
Yeah,
smooth
yeah,
on this
yeah.
side. And
Very.
also it has a very special color. You know, it's more a greenish hue and not so much,
yellow.
more common yellowish hue.
Yeah.
And
that's a
350 grams in a gem crystal.
That big, huh?
That's a lot, yeah. Termination faces, beveled, and totally perfect.
All
Fantastic
right.
crystal. I love
It's a nice
it.
crystal.
This was found a couple of years ago by a good friend of mine who is digging in Rhein. This is in Canton Graubünden, Switzerland.
Faden quartz.
Yeah, this is
What
a fantastic Faden quartz. For me, the best I've ever seen from the locality and the best I've ever seen from the
usually
Alps.
they're, you know.
Yeah, they are smaller, much smaller.
small.
This is a floater specimen.
Now,
Yeah.
what is this
It had-
unusual area
Here is a negative of a calcite crystal.
okay, yeah.
Formerly, there was a calcite that was etched away naturally in the pocket.
Okay.
And you can also see little amient and epidot growing in the base,
Yeah, I see
which
it.
proves it's truly alpine and not Pakistan. Yeah.
Good association there. Yeah.
See the beautiful faden. And the thickness is also
marvelous.
remarkable. Thickness, clarity,
Yeah,
luster.
I don't remember
anything,
seeing anything
size.
that big in a Faden.
Me too. This is
Wonderful.
fantastic. This is a gold that I got on a big surprise. This comes from Romania. Veres Batak, you know.
Yes.
This is maybe more than 150 years old.
That's a classic.
This is the special thing about this. This has grew on quartz, and you see really fine quartz crystals here on the side, and marcasite crystal
bit of
here
marcasite,
that grew in an open pocket on the gold leaf.
Yeah, a lot of these are these platy-looking sections are actually flattened octahedrons.
Yeah, this is actually flat crystals. You can also see long crystals going up here from the base until here.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, a few going up. Yeah.
I wonder if they're spinel
Very
twins.
elongated, spinel twin elongated crystals. So you have both the leaves and the spinel twins and some crystals on the edges.
It's a beautiful specimen by itself, but historically very important.
Very, very important piece. I know maybe only 5 pieces from this locality this size.
Great stuff. Yeah. Anton, thank you so much for
my
doing
pleasure.
this.
My pleasure.
So pleased to see very fine specimens. Thank you very much.
Thank you also for coming by.
Good morning, Elaine.
Good morning, Bob.
Welcome to the What's Hot team. I understand you worked on the team at Saint-Marie-aux-Mines.
Yes, we work a lot about the exhibition and the minerals of Saint-Marie-aux-Mines. But I'm happy because Bryan is an easy guy to work with.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, he's a good guy, in spite of what everybody says. You know, I was looking in your case over here and I saw a mineral that It seems to me last year it was being sold as a pink albite.
Yes.
It's not that.
Yeah, and let's have a look on it.
Okay.
It is a reed Meteorite. It's difficult to pronounce that.
I can't.
And this is the species from the feldspar group, borium rich. And that explains maybe it was missed last year because you know that borium is a very light element, so difficult to find identified in an analysis.
Beautiful sharp crystals with wonderful luster on them. Yeah, marvelous. Now, what's the locality on these?
It's supposed to come from the Wazarak Autonomous Area, which are disputed between Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Okay.
And here there is an elongated crystal, very gemmy and almost dichroic.
Yeah, beautiful, delicate color. So it does show two colors because it's dichroic.
It's more light on the elongated axis.
Right.
More or less like kunzite. It's supposed to come from Haramosh area in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a super bright polysynthetic octahedron of magnetite.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
On a matrix made of epidote crystals,
beautiful.
Some melanite garnet, and there's also on the back some diopside, some clinochlore. And what it is funny, there's another generation of magnetite, but rhombododecaedron.
All right, different crystal form. Yeah.
But look at the quality of that magnetite. I'm very happy.
The epidote they would probably refer to as the pistachiite, as they used to call it. Yeah. Beautiful color. Very nice setting. Yeah. Is that uncommon? Is that
Yeah, for the moment only one specimen, maybe more to come, but you never know.
Great. It seems every dealer has at least one quartz specimen on display, and you've got a couple there. Is there anything special about that?
Yes, there was a discovery in the Mont Blanc area on the French side.
Okay.
Only 1 month ago, some Strahler hit a big pocket with many specimens, and 5 or 6 of them are very good quality, unusual quality for Mont Blanc, almost like the best from Switzerland.
All right. Well, look at that. It's totally gemmy from the Mont Blanc area. Isn't that fine?
Completely reheal everywhere, and it's even doubly terminated.
Yeah. Boy, that's a sweet quartz. Yeah, quartz is so common, and yet when you find something like that, that is exceptional.
Yes.
It's just wonderful.
And let me show you another one, bigger, from the same pocket.
Oh, good. Oh, my. Isn't that gorgeous? What a wonderful specimen. And to think that came out of the ground just a month ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
And you can notice that it is completely rehealed everywhere.
Yep. That's great. That has not, you didn't have to do any cleaning or anything? It was pretty
just
much the way it was found?
dethionite to take out some iron oxides and fresh water.
Yeah.
No more, so that's...
I mean, you can read a newspaper through that big crystal. It's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a perfect specimen.
And it's almost 20 centimeters crystal.
Yeah. This is, typical, not typical, but from the what used to be called Rhone Antelope District or the Congo. But what's unusual about this is it has these stalactites that are such an odd color. Is this chrysocolla?
No, I think this is malachite. Sometimes malachite came into fiber, very small fiber, and they are white, and there's an old name for that, leucocalcite. I think this is a kind of way of the structure of the malachite make it more white.
Yeah, function of the crystal form, And what's happened here, of course, is the overlying dark malachite has been removed to show. that unusual color underneath. It's such a lovely thing. Very, very showy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for showing
Thank
us.
you, Bob.
The quartz is just marvelous. God, good to see you again.
Pleasure to
This
see
is
you.
wonderful. Joaquin, nice
Hello.
to meet you, sir.
Hello. Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you. Thank you very
These two
much.
gentlemen are the authors, co-authors of an absolutely marvelous coffee table book on everybody's favorite mineral, gold. It's just a stunning piece of work. I'm curious as how you started to do this.
That's a good question. I'd been thinking about doing it for quite a few years, and I really didn't know how to go about writing a book like this. And then Joachim approached me to see if I was interested in doing a project like this. It's the perfect marriage with his great photos, and I have a little bit of background in gold, and it just developed from there.
Now, I know you had access to a lot of different collections and private collections that had gold. How many years did you work on this thing?
We were working on it for over 2 years.
2 years, okay.
We traveled to as many major collections and museums as we could get to and have easy access to. And
some marvelous photographs in
it's
here.
the first time there's been this many collections put together into one book. The idea was to give a broad overview, a fairly simplistic view of geology of gold and morphology.
There we are. There we are.
And then little history on various gold districts and a worldwide nature.
Now, where can people get a copy of this book? Everybody's going to want one.
Here at the Munich Show, we'll have it at Tucson.
Okay.
And through Mineral Up, I think lithography will have copies available.
Look at that. Isn't that marvelous? That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
I'm very pleased.
I'm very grateful to you also.
Let's keep that open. Scott, thanks so much. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
to see
Nice
you
to
again.
see you.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Here we are at the Munich Show, and I know every dealer tries to bring something new and recent, and I know you do.
Yes, we have. I can to show you my new tourmaline. They are from Madagascar. It is a rarity because in Madagascar it is rare to have tourmaline on matrix.
Yes.
And the analysis by Mr. Pezota said that is fluorolidicoatite from Madagascar. Yes.
Okay.
They were
so
found.
They're high in calcium.
Yes.
Not sodium. All right.
They were found in March this year.
Okay.
It was a small geode, 1 meter long by 80 centimeters. And they found around 4 kilos to cut.
Okay.
And some pieces on matrix. A few, 10 pieces. I have 6 pieces.
Fortunately, they saved some matrix pieces. Now, that looks doubly terminated.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice all white setting.
Double terminated. Terminated.
Look at this. Boy, these are really beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Look at that.
Look at the termination. It's perfect. Be terminated.
Isn't that beautiful?
I like that color.
Yeah, it's wonderful. All right. Well, these are really great. Thank you. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? There you can really see the double termination. That's sweet.
Double terminated. I have a small one there. She's double terminated too.
The little
yes, a little one.
Yeah.
They are repaired. Yes.
It's repaired?
Yes.
So what? It's so beautiful.
Every tourmaline is repaired.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Because the pegmatite are very strong. And
Thank you so much for showing those to me.
Oh,
thank you.
I am happy.
It's great. I envy
Have
you.
a good day.
We're here in the Crystal Classics booth, and we've got a really special event to mention before we get into the minerals. Deanna and
Hello,
Ian,
nice to meet
congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you so much.
I understand there's a ring.
There is a ring.
Look at that. Isn't that sweet? That's wonderful. We wish you well.
Thank
Blue
you.
cap. Yeah. Deanna, you're going to show me some minerals down at this end of the booth.
Yes.
So let's walk on down there and see what we can find.
Yes, let's do that.
there are many, many fine specimens here, but I'm always attracted to silver. And you've got a silver specimen that's classic, old, beautiful. Can we pull that out of there?
Yes, of course we can. Yes, there we have, I just give it to you, those wonderful, very, very traditional German silvers.
Yeah.
Came out from Poland. And I, as a little kid, when I was 6 years old or even younger, went with my parents to that mine.
Really?
And collected silvers.
Oh, for God's
And my
sakes.
dad would then etch them out in the cellars to expose the really nice herringbone structures of those pieces. And as you can feel, it has quite some weight to it.
Yeah, I don't know how many grams it
I was
is, but
pretty
it's...
busy. I think it's roughly 1.5, 2 kilos.
All right.
So, and I mean, this is just, I was pretty busy as a kid.
Marvelous. How lucky were you?
Yes.
Yeah. No,
Very, very
Isn't that
sparkly.
lovely? This is a German barite now.
Same, polar again.
Yeah.
So, and
Look at the
the
luster.
beauty of this one is it is so, has really this nice honey color, really,
Yeah.
really lustrous. Usually the bigger they get, the more damage there is
Yes,
on the
yes.
pieces. They have a lot of contact, but this one has a rich, rich coverage.
Yep.
And is so,
I
so
don't see any
lustrous.
damage. I don't see any damage.
And this again came out of, we just recently picked it up out of an old collection. by-
Okay, so it's an old timer.
It is an old timer.
Okay.
It has been in the collection for over 25 years, and so it is just spectacular how those things keep cropping up.
Yeah, isn't that great? That's wonderful. This is so unusual. This malachite pseudomorph is so unusual that I thought we just have to document it.
Well, it looks almost like it's covered in
look
velvet,
at that.
isn't
Look
it?
at that. You just don't touch something like that. It's crushable, but it's so beautiful.
You can have it. You can handle it.
Yeah, this, this huge crystal, probably approaching 6 inches long. Crystals down here. Different crystal form right here. The color is, superb.
Yes.
Yeah. What a wonderful piece. Look at that, from Turkey.
From Turkey.
Wow.
Who would have thought about this?
Isn't that lovely?
Such a rich, rich color.
Superb color, superb.
Yes.
Great
and
luster.
Really, really nice
Yeah,
little.
little stalactites.
Yeah.
Isn't that a cutie? Oh, that's wonderful.
This is right from where I come from. This
Is
is
it?
from the Chef 371 in Hartenstein, and I was born not far from there. So
That's a
it's
witherite.
another German classic, a
Yeah,
witherite.
Yeah. Look at that. Boy, that rivals anything that came out of Illinois or England. It's wonderful. Yeah. Great crystal, sharp, no damage. Very intense piece. Oh. This is from
Australia and
Mintaby, maybe?
Mintaby, I believe so. Yes,
Yeah.
and it is just the play of colors. It's just incredible. It's so
Isn't
getting
that
really
marvelous?
red. I'm not sure if the camera is able to do this, but it has such a red glow in it.
Yeah, peach, red, a hint of yellow. Isn't that wonderful? And of course, Kongsberg is always a classic, and there's always something different that comes from that old mine.
Mainly known for its silvers,
Look at
but
that,
that
yeah.
is
That's a
one of
wonderful,
a kind.
wonderful. Yeah,
It has such a nice, chunky but shiny, lustrous wire.
yeah. Can you imagine how many specimens ever that came out of that mine over the years? My
Yeah,
goodness
I mean,
gracious.
tons and tons and tons of it.
Yeah. And to think it was found by 2 children who were herding sheep. That's great. Oh,
You have it? I know.
yeah. Boy, that thing is really heavy.
You
Look at
wouldn't
that.
expect it. Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen one that big.
Plus, it is also really interesting because you still have the azurite here and the pseudomorphs
Oh, yeah.
with malachite
Yeah,
after azurite
yeah.
there. So it
Yeah,
is
look at the little
very, very
azurite right
complex
there.
piece. And then you have little cerussite sitting in here. So
Uh-huh,
it is
yeah.
such a complex piece. And it's really
You know what the what the green material is?
one of the mysterious Sumep greens.
Oh, okay.
Without analyzing it, you
Yeah.
won't be able to tell.
Yeah,
So
it's a great way to put it. A mysterious green.
yes.
Oh yeah, what a lovely specimen. My goodness gracious.
This is definitely museum worthy.
Yeah, museum quality, no question about it. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, Deanna. I think Ian is waiting to show us some Australian
so, yes.
specimens. All right, here we are at the other half of the Crystal Classics team. Ian, Good to see you again.
How are you,
Ian.
Bob?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great.
About 20 years ago, I was very fortunate to meet Milton Lavers in Broken Hill, Australia. And as you know, Broken Hill is one of the world's premier mineral producing localities.
Oh, yeah.
And over the last 100 years, Broken Hill really has produced more lead and zinc than almost any other location. For the giant size of the ore body, it's one of the top ore bodies in the world. It's just huge. Over the last century, they've gone from the oxide ores on the top of the ore body. They found some of the world's best pyromorphites, some of the world's best cerusites,
rhodonite,
yeah,
pyromorphite.
that's right.
The list goes on and on.
And as they went down through the ore body, obviously the mineralogy changed, and they have great things like the Johanssonites, the Bustamites, the Bannisterites, the gem rhodonites, things that you find nowhere else on Earth in that quality stuff. And Milton Lavers made a lifetime collection. He was kind of the black hole of Broken Hill.
Oh, okay.
And he had his own private museum.
Really?
And it was really quite amazing. So I was lucky enough to meet him 20 years ago, and we kept in touch and we did appraisals for him. And unfortunately, he died early this year, and we were asked to come out and from England to Australia and try and help market the collection. So we ended up buying it, and this is its first viewing. Look at this, the bright salmon pink marshite crystals.
Great color
on here. And the reason I pulled this out because I want you to smell it. This is one mineral species that you can quite easily identify by the smell. So if you
do I need a chair?
Yeah, give it a smell, and you can smell the iodine.
My nose doesn't work too well, but I can smell it.
Yeah, no, it's
it's
one of those rare things from Broken Hill.
Yeah.
There's a huge variety of pyromorphites from Broken Hill.
Yeah.
These are very reminiscent of the ones from Bad Ems in Germany.
Yeah.
But,
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Gorgeous.
This is one of the famous green pyromorphites from the Triple M mine at Broken Hill.
God,
And they always grow in these coronadites, so you get the beautiful contrast of the
Black
green
and white,
pyromorphite on the coronadite.
And look at the sparkle. Look at the luster on those. It's just marvelous.
Yeah, Milton also had a lovely collection of Broken Hill memorabilia, and all of these were used in the mine.
Yeah.
So, you think of that.
It's an old timer.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What a jewel. Look at that.
And this is so classic for Broken Hill, these beautiful spheres. Yeah, just beautiful.
Unlike Kelly Mine, the copper didn't get involved, so you have this pristine snow white smithsonite. Just beautiful.
Green anglicites, which are pretty damn rare.
Look at that. Yeah, I guess. Look at the nice color. What's the matrix on this? You have any idea?
I think they're altered pyromorphites. You can see the pyromorphites. I think they're replaced by goethite.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, jarosite. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a real exotic thing for Broken Hill. Broken Hill produces the world's finest Johanssonites. And Johanssonite's an end member of the Hedenbergite series. It's the manganese-rich Johanssonite. And these are almost gemmy. Look at
if you look at it at an angle, this little crystal right here, I don't know if you can catch that or not, but it's basically gemmy.
Yeah.
And the edges, on the edges, these larger crystals are gemmy.
And it's a crazy
color.
color.
Huge.
It's a crazy color.
Yeah, I've never seen Johanssonites this size. Oh, hey, look at that garnet.
Yeah. And this is a real Broken Hill classic.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to see the spessartine garnets in the galena.
Size of that thing.
Very, very rare to get a complete one.
You think that they must have worked it out of the matrix somehow to expose it?
Well, we did some very careful work in the lab and exposed it a little bit more, but it's that's just lovely.
Beautiful luster, very sharp crystal. Wonderful. The size.
This dates from the early 1900s. From the Broken Hill proprietary mine. So this would have been found pretty much at the top of the ore body.
Okay.
So all that rotted lead and zinc, the lead became lead carbonate, cerussite, and you can see here it's been coated with anglicite, so the sparkly
beautiful
effect
twinning.
On the top.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's fabulous.
So that's had a few years under its belt.
It's survived very well. Yeah, it's a super thing. So this is lovely. This is from the famous gem rhodonite pocket that they found in the zinc quartz mine in the 70s, and very different color than the ones that came from the North mine. Yeah, this is one of the stars of the collection. Look at this. It's
the size of that.
It's a huge Bannisterite plate.
Grief.
Yeah, just incredible thing.
Great luster.
Look
Foliated crystals. Yeah.
It's probably the only time a good one of these will ever make it onto What's Hot
There you
anywhere.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Another rarity. One of the great Broken Hill alabandites, manganese sulfides, and you've got these little apopholites growing on them. But very different than the ones we see from Mineralien today. You know, this is one of the real classics of Australia, the alabandites. You know, this is something quite extraordinary for Broken Hill. You know, it's black, but it's actually, you know, these are important specimens. They're anglesite crystals that have been pseudomorphed by cerussite.
Right.
And then the cerussite has been further coated with coronadite, so you get these beautiful black pseudomorphs. So again, one of the real classics for Broken Hill, very difficult to get. This is a single bustamite crystal.
Oh, okay.
And you get these beautiful bustamite crystals in Broken Hill.
Yeah.
And most of them occurred at the North Mine, the good ones, and they occurred along with one of the real treasures of Broken Hill, which is the gem rhodonites.
Oh, now we see the rhodonite.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So this is really something special.
That's really gem.
Yeah, you know, these crystals are just so fine, and they've got this amazing gem color. I hope you can pick it up on the camera, but it's.
They, you know, a lot of those, most of them came locked in the galena.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but most of them were brecciated, so it was very rare to get a gem crystal that was complete.
Right.
And this is probably the only really good specimen I've ever seen where you have these beautiful gem rhodonites together on a piece of matrix.
Yeah.
You know, 99% of the time they're broken or they're single crystals.
Right.
But you know, that's one of the prizes of the Milton Labors collection.
Boy, that's a winner. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That's Smithsonite with this beautiful Smithsonite bow tie sat on the Smithsonite crystals.
Huh.
Just fabulous.
Isn't that neat?
Look at that.
Yeah. Thanks for showing it to us. I appreciate it, Ian.
Thanks, Bob.
You do a good job, I tell you. It's wonderful.
Thanks, Bryan. No one ever says thanks, Bryan.
So, Alpine exhibit for this year in Munich is about Rauris in Austria. So, of course, we're starting here with the dangerous stuff. Too much nice food and drinks from Austria.
I may just stay right here.
Yeah, skip the clefts.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it's important also to show the people who never visited Europe or the Alps to what it really looks like. You can watch here, you know, they're rather young mountains, 50 million years old, and some of the clefts are, you know, quite young, 18, 20 million years old.
Yeah.
And you can get a feeling for the strahls here and what the mountains looks like. This is in fact a good picture showing one cleft.
Yeah.
You can see the whole cleft, which is more the vertical type, a fissure, and it's exposed all the
crystals. Yeah.
Sometimes you have a quartz vein, sometimes you don't have a quartz vein at all, you just have a crack that might open up some meters in. And
that's a challenge. Australians deserve a lot of credit to get in there
absolutely.
and get things.
Of course, quartz is obviously
that's the major mineral.
It's the major mineral, but some has beautiful inclusions.
Look at that. Look at this little guy. Isn't that cute?
And the various morphology. And you know well that in the old days they thought this was frozen ice.
Oh,
It was ice that
that's
just
right.
couldn't be
That's
melted.
right.
It was frozen
Can't
so
be-
long time.
can't be melted.
You can't be thawed.
Yeah.
And then you have huge number of habitats, of course, of the quartz. And
Okay. Have they ever found any Japan law twins? I know there's other forms
I
of twins.
cannot recall any Japan law twin except for the French Alps. You know,
Okay.
not in Austria, Swiss. I cannot recall that. You know, it's not so well known, but there were some even giant scheelites in the Austrian Alps.
Really?
So, yes, these are. You know, you see the small one, which is almost 2 centimeters. The bigger one is 4.5, 5 centimeters. Beautiful orange. Some may be sharp, but they're found fissites and even larger.
Really?
Yes.
That's a surprise.
And you have the bismuthinite crystals, you know, that's hematites, pyrites.
Nice pyrites, yeah. And that's something.
Some ore minerals.
Yeah, you don't think of these. You think of smoky quartz and rutile maybe and a few other things, but
there is
this
quite
a
some
nice
varied
variety.
mineralogy.
Yeah.
And you know, if you think, of course, we have now in the Himalayas, but there are not that many regions that has really, really nice alpine type quartz. You know?
That's just gorgeous.
And if you look here, you know, from distance you could mistake it for epidote or something, but it's rutile crystals. from the Alpine
Rooted.
clan. You see?
Oh, those are big
Quite
for
large.
rooted.
Yes,
My gosh,
3 inch, 7 centimeter
I'm used to
root
seeing
heel.
those little tiny red things.
Yes.
With the quartz
And
and
of course,
hematite.
the rutilated quartz. But you see, they're large rooted, and this is not widely known.
That piece in the middle there, really, that's really etched.
Exactly. So,
Wow.
you know, a few pieces in the Alps they found the last 15 years in Pakistan that is remind very much of these factors. So that is a short introduction. But what is nice in Munich is that every year they present one region of the Alps, and because
You mean in this exhibit?
Yes, in the Alps. And the Alps are big, but it's so right close. You see it from right here. You see the Alps, snow-clad Alps here. So because there's so much to collect here, you also have a huge community of collectors because kids can go out and find crystals everywhere.
Hey, boy, yeah, good stuff.
That makes also Munich one of the greatest shows on the planet, together with your show, you know.
fossil world, and I'm with Nils. How are you, Nils?
Fine, thank you.
Good to see you. You can see right behind us, there's a pretty big animal back there, and Nils was responsible primarily for assembling it and putting it together, and he's going to share with us why this thing is so important and why there's so many people around here taking photographs of this big dinosaur behind us. Nils, tell me about this.
So it's actually very special. So we are having here original T-Rex. So T-Rex is the most iconic dinosaur you can discover.
Exactly.
It's only discovered in Montana in the Hell Creek Formation. And normally you get your hands, in Europe you don't get your hands on original T-Rex bones.
They're always replicas.
Yeah, you have always casts in the museum around in
casts,
Europe. Casts of original bones. But here, this is very special. It's the first original T-Rex from Montana here in Europe. Because
first time ever, those are the real bones. Those aren't casts behind us.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 60% complete. Some of the bones are cast. You never find a 100% complete T-Rex.
Okay.
The most complete T-Rex ever found was Sue. And Sue was 90% complete.
Wow.
And King Kong behind us is 60% complete. And it's very special. For me, it was, we put it up here in 15 hours.
15 hours?
15
My God,
hours. Because you have to be very careful with the original bones. And one of the femur bones is heavy as 200 kilogram.
Okay, no kidding. Wow.
It's very, very heavy, and you must be very careful because it's all original.
Now, is this going to stay here, or what's going to happen with this after the Munich show?
It's not quite clear right now.
Okay.
It's a very interesting skeleton at all because it has some pathologies, a fracture in the tibia.
Okay.
And in the fibula, and it has bite marks in the ilium, so from another T-Rex. So it's very interesting to see how special the skeleton is.
Right.
And after the Munich show, we put it back in the crates, and maybe it tours around the world.
Okay.
Because you can really attract many people with that skeleton. And the other opportunity is that we put it up in a museum.
Okay.
That King Kong maybe stays here in Munich in the museum, in a new museum, or maybe it's going to another museum.
Fantastic. So here's the Munich show. First time a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton has ever been brought to Europe. and it's been brought here for the Munich Show. Absolutely incredible. Hey, the show just keeps on doing it. Nils, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Johan, it's so good to see you again.
Nice to meet you again.
And this is your design.
Yeah, for sure. We do all these special exhibits always for these people who are more interested than just for buying minerals or fossils. And our interest is to design historical background, to have a higher knowledge on the things who happened 2,000 years, 5,000 years ago. It is more interesting than just to have crystals, which are much elder than 2,000 or 5,000 years.
It brings the hobby to life when you have history
That's
like
it.
this. It's wonderful.
Okay, and here...
Yeah, who did the research on this? That must have been a challenge.
We have Dr. Bernhard Graf from the University of Munich.
Dr. Graf, I'd like to know a little bit more about your research and the significance of some of these exhibits.
Yes. The beginning was for 5,200 years
Goodness.
by the Egyptians, and also in the 11th century with the Normans. You see in this table the Battle of Hastings, Battle of 1066. Yes, and it's the perspective of the Normans. The Normans realized this tapestry of the Battle of Hastings, and you can see here meteorites here. In this.
So that occurred during the battle or before the battle?
Yes, before the battle, and you see King Harold, and his astrologic, and he declare the problem with this meteorics. Yes, and it's what is the meaning of this? The Anglo-Saxon wish it's a good omen, but the Normans said it was a bad omen. It's an omen for the death of King Harold.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, and the science sees that it was the comet of Halley.
Oh, the Halley's comet.
The Halley's coming in this year.
Now, what's the significance of the helmet here?
Yes. Now, this is the description of the Normans. And so we have a Norman helmet, a Norman one, not an Anglo-Saxon, and also a Norman warrior.
Yeah, we brought him back to life from 1066.
Yes, from 1066. It was a knight of this time.
Boy, that must be very heavy.
Yes, he says about 20 kilos. 20 kilos.
Altogether 20 kilos.
My goodness gracious.
Yes.
Look out.
What about?
You can have it.
But it's only one story of the whole history. The whole history we have 24 stories.
24 stories.
There's
24 stories.
Now there's a history that I must ask about because it occurred when America was discovered by Columbus in 1492 meteorite. Can we go see that?
Yes. You see here a picture from 1513. And you see the impact near the town Ensisheim.
Okay.
Ensisheim. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Ensisheim.
Ensisheim. Yes. And it was in the year 1492.
Amazing.
The same year discovering America.
Yeah, isn't that marvelous?
By Columbus.
It's a big one too.
Yeah. This is original. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is King Maximilian the First, and he visited Ensisheim, and he wanted to declare the problem with this meteorite.
And this happened in Germany?
In this time, it was a part of the Habsburgs.
Oh, the Habsburgs.
Habsburg one, not France. Today it's a town in France.
Nice.
But in this time it was a part of the countries of the Habsburgs.
Okay.
Here it's a copy from this one.
It's a copy.
The original have 135 kilos. And several persons take a part and no part and no part. Here you see the original parts in this one, and also this one are original parts.
So we have some of the original.
And so you have only 53 kilos in France. Yes.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that has always fascinated me about history is that when they found a nickel iron meteorite especially, that it was so important. They would make tools and weapons from that very hard iron, which was so rare.
I think we should go to this side.
Good, let's take a look. These are apparently made from an iron meteorite. Imagine that. Tell me about them.
Yes. It's a very long time. You have weapons from this material. Yes. The beginning is probably in this time, in the Egyptian time, Tutankhamun, you have a knife with material. And also you see here in later times, in old times, always weapons with this material. Yes.
This happened long before the smelting of iron.
Yes.
So that was what made it so precious. It's the only iron they had.
The Hittitian about 1800 before Christ.
Wow.
Yes. You can win iron. But before this time, you have weapons with iron, and these weapons are all these weapons are from this material.
Okay. I want to thank you very much for your help.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody loves opals. I love opals especially because it happens to be my birthstone. I'm here with Francisco with Opalinda.
Hello.
And you are really an expert when it comes to Ethiopian opals, and not only an expert at marketing opals, and I know that you've used the Munich Show as a launch platform for the different discoveries of the Ethiopian opals, but you're not just involved in the marketing of it, you're involved from the very beginning. You have a deep passion and deep experience with Ethiopia and with opals. Can you share some of this information with us?
Yeah, you are right, but I would say this is by chance, because when I heard about Ethiopian opal, I went there and I discovered this fantastic land. So it was not only opal, it was the people, the land, and the discovery of the fields. And these fields appear to be incredibly rich. The first one was Mesezo, giving incredible specimens, and that was at the end of the 90s.
Okay.
Starting 2000 and 2007, 2008, this deposit from Wolo, someone say Delanta, the main village is Wegeltena. This deposit was discovered very lately, end of 2007.
This was the second deposit?
Yes, the second one. And it's just a huge deposit, 1,000 square kilometers. And today there are more than 40 mines. There are mines. And in 2010, there were 4,000 miners registered in cooperatives by the government. First time we went there, it was in early 2009. We just discovered that the mining was very badly done, I must say this, and there were many casualties. And the top was awful. In 2010, there were more than 50 miners dead by crawling rocks or during the mining. So we wrote in magazines like German Gemology or ICA magazine, name In Color. We brought this to the world. Wow, it's very, very horrible. People are dying by mining. So we did our little part by financing, teaching, and providing drawings for proper mining. But first, they realized they were doing suicide by mining that way, and today it's okay. So they do the holes more safely. the problem is they were digging far too widely on the horizontal way.
Okay.
Without letting natural pillars.
Gotcha. So no support.
Yeah. And the first time they didn't dig deep. They dig only 2 meters. But if you dig 2 meters deep and 10 meters wide, it crawls.
Yeah.
But again, today is okay. Today is done.
And you discovered something new that I had never seen before that absolutely amazed me in these opals from Ethiopia. You discovered plants in them.
Yes, and it was not rare. So we saw inclusions, and even with the unaided eye, we could see that there were plants. And we discovered also piece of opalized wood or big roots. Bigger, and with the shape of the root. But this is also discovered in other deposits. But what was very new is to see plants in the opal. And most Tisan plants, we found it were roots. This is giving also indication of the formation of the opal. But these roots were very, very well preserved, as well as we could, by electronic microscopy, see the cells and the details of the cells of these plants.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think Ethiopia continues to be a mystery that is being unraveled little by little, and we're learning more and more about it. And it's actually what you've shared with me and what you've shown me has changed my perception of Ethiopia and how I've always understood it. And I think this is wonderful that you're going to continue to do that and continue to bring out beautiful gemstones.
Yeah, this was the passion. But the passion was an attraction by this incredible land.
Absolutely.
And peoples.
Yeah. Great. Well, I look forward to seeing more. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. We're here in the Gem World Pavilion and meeting with my old friend Andrea Roth. Laura, good to see you again. Andrea, you're doing a whole new series of religious icons, religious themes. Can you tell me a little bit about what's your inspiration, why you're creating this new series?
So my father created 48 pieces, so a whole collection of biblical topics, and they were all sold. He also wanted to send these pieces to the Vatican, but unfortunately he didn't make it to do that. So that is why I'm trying to create a new collection to reach that goal, let's say.
So that's exciting. So these pieces are being created with the goal of these eventually going in the Vatican. Now, what's going to be the benefit if this is in the Vatican? How's that going to change things for you?
Man wird bekannter.
Well, my goal is actually to raise awareness to this art. Of course, to get well known. Of course, it's that there's also this kind of reason. But I would like to get my art well known so that some more people could know this art and eventually buy some of my pieces. But possibly to stress the importance of this difficult art.
Well, I can think of no one better talented to actually make this dream come true. So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
We're here in the Young Designer Corner of the Gem World area of the Munich Show. Every year they have a contest for the new up-and-coming jewelry designers. They all get to enter, and they enter, I believe, a single piece, and it's judged by a bunch of industry experts, and one piece, one artist is selected as the winner for this year. This year, it's Cecilia. Cecilia, wonderful to see you.
Wonderful.
So now, Cecilia created this piece right here, and she's told me the name, but horribly, I can't pronounce it. So, Cecilia, tell me about your winning piece. What's it called, and what was the inspiration that enabled you to create such a masterpiece?
Okay, the name of this piece is offered to Pachamama because I use a different stone. Both are quartz, but the one on the top is ametrine, and you can find it just in the Andes region. So for this I choose Pachamama because Pachamama in this area is Mother Nature. So it's just like a gift that I want to do for the nature.
So ultimately, this means basically gift to Mother Nature.
Yeah, a gift.
Fantastic. So how did you come up with this idea?
I don't know. I just I just feel so inspired by nature, and I reproduce it, and I try to do more pieces about this. and it's made with different techniques. The central part is made with the repoussé chasing. It's an ancient technique made a lot by Italian.
Okay.
And the other part, the end, is made with wax. So investment casting later.
So now that you have won this competition, what does this mean for your career? What does this mean for the future?
Oh, it's great. You know, I can put in my curriculum. I'm so proud to win this competition. And for sure, I hope to find a job soon.
A fabulous piece, and hope to see you again in future competitions.
Yeah, of course, in Munich next year.
Next year, good enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're in the New Design Forum here at Gem World, and I am with Katarina. Katarina, good to see you.
Me too.
Now, Katarina was the winner of last year's Young Design Forum. What did it mean to you to win the design?
It's a very big experience for me. I'm very happy.
Great. And so I know you've done a lot of new pieces since last year.
Yes, yes.
So why don't you show me some of your new pieces?
Yes. This is before, and this is after.
And this is the designed, I love this, it's the jailed man and the freed man.
Yes.
And this was the design that allowed you to win the competition last year. Fantastic.
I'm from Greece. This is my answer for this, for pigs. Inside it's coins. All the time you play with money, because money is only for play. This is finger cutters.
Finger cutter, what does that mean?
Yes, wait. They cut your hand.
Okay, what's that one?
This is loves me not. And you play. Okay, this is white sheep and black sheep. This is, I don't remember the wrench.
Wrench.
And play all the time when you're nervous. You have something to play. This is an on-off ring. Now I'm on. Now sorry, I'm closed. This is a mirrored side. You try to see the other lives, but you see only yourself. This is the eye. And the girl behind. And this is my favorite.
Oh, there you go.
Here. It's Mind the Gap. And play.
That's great. Oh, Katarina, those were some great pieces. You really made me laugh on some of those. What's next? What's the future?
I don't know. All is in my mind.
Okay. But you're going to continue doing this?
Yes, of course.
You're going to continue having fun?
I love this work.
This is fantastic. I can see it.
Yes.
It shows in your work how much fun you have creating this.
I love to make people laugh.
Yeah. And
that's the point.
How are people reacting to your work? Are they loving it?
Yes, they come tired, and when they here, and for me it's the prize.
That's the payoff.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Katarina, it was a pleasure. I hope to continue seeing your stuff.
Thank you.
All right, great. That's Katarina.
I must leave now.
Fly away with the alien ring.
Okay.
Alien ring like this. I'm a self-acknowledged geek. I love technology. I love the latest whiz-bang gadgets. And I'm here in the booth of Collido. Stands for Collection Identification. And they've got a whole process, they have a whole system that's going to revolutionize the way that mineral collecting is done and the way that people store the information on their mineral collection. And it's going to happen in the palm of your hands. Tossin, good to meet you.
Nice
I would
to meet you
love it
too.
if you can walk me through some of the things that your system is going to do for the mineral collecting world.
Sure.
Okay.
So let's start like this. We have this quartz, and also additionally we have this RFID chips.
And I put it only on the bottom, so then we have the connection already.
And then I put it into the photo box. And now there's a table inside which makes 360 degrees camera photos. And behind this cabinet you have this camera, so it takes the pictures automatically out of our program.
And we are able to
track or add this specimen to our system very easily. You have an import button from Photobox, and there you see the different sets we already took. And I took the photos we right now have taken, and I can decide, okay, which images are really nice, and this is not so nice, and which one is a masterpiece. So I take this one, and then I scroll down. I have the possibility to type in specimen, and the good thing here, we are connected to a database, which gives you directly input when you type a name on it. For example, now we have this quartz, and gives you directly an input field, so no spelling mistakes. Then you have the locality, which we are now in Munich, and so on. So you can put in the dimension as well. So it gives you here. Put in the dimension as well, which gives you directly the input field for which size it is. Then you have a free description field where you can put in anything you want. And additionally, we will fill in more features later on. Where our quartz is now integrated. So we see it on the left upper corner, and you can click on it. And then you directly get a bigger view where you have the information you put in and have different images. And you can even click on the images to have a bigger view for presentation. Click on it. So you can scroll through it to really see the details of the specimens.
So basically, it's a pretty automated system of taking your specimens, getting 360-degree photographs if you want. It's all going into this database that can exist in the cloud or locally on your iPad. There are RF tags that you're attaching to the base, and the system can also track where you put the specimens within your display cabinets. And those RF tags would go with the specimen. So if you sold that specimen to someone else, they would have that RF tag, and all that information travels with it.
Automatically.
Right. This is fantastic. So we're hoping that this really takes off. It's going to be very interesting to see where you go in the next year or so.
Thank you.
And I'd love to see this starting to appear in dealers and collector shelves around the world.
We're looking.
Oh, Bob, here we are at the end of the Munich Show. And you probably recognize what we have here. You saw this in Tucson. And this is the VitaJewel decanter, and we're here with President of VitaJewel.
I'm glad to meet you.
Daniel.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Yeah.
Nice
so
to meet you.
These are fantastic products, and like we talked, here's a beautiful decanter, and in these wands you have these natural gemstones that just so incredible, just fantastic display pieces for your home. And then here we have it with just water, and so it's very nice to enjoy it. Yeah.
So we started with water 5 years ago, and the Italians came and said, we also tried it with wine, and it works also with wine. The wine is better, and it's elegant, and it's an event to drink wine with that.
I can't think of a better way to serve wine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Daniel, I want to congratulate you because I understand you have a new distributor in Hawaii for your products.
Yeah.
Who might that be?
Congratulations to you, Brian. so
I don't believe
cheers to you.
Cheers
Bob,
to you.
Cheers
to you. You deserve it. Yeah.
Here's to a great Munich show. We look forward to seeing all of you next year. Cheers.
Yeah.